So, being the Rancor fan that I am, I was very excited when I saw recently that Jeffro, a 3D modeler who posts a lot of things on Thingiverse, posted a new Rancor model. And this was a model that was available in a couple of different versions. One was all in one piece if you wanted to, just do it all at once, probably at a smaller scale, or one that was broken up into lots of different pieces. And of course, that was the one I had to choose. I discovered that the torso was kind of the largest piece, and so I knew that that one was going to be the one I had to fit on my build plate of my printer. And I just wanted to make it as big as possible, so I figured out that I could make the torso 125% of the actual size, or the original size, and it would still fit. So I just scaled all of the other parts up 125% as well. And that would result in an overall height of about 12 inches for the Rancor figure. Now here are all of the parts that I've printed. This took quite a long time. This is a lot of parts, and they each individually take a long time. I mean, I was able to do quite a few of them sort of together in batches, but still, this torso, for example, is the largest piece, as I mentioned, and it took 56 hours or something like that. A really, really long time. I actually ran out of filament partway through, and right around here, but I was able to pause it and change the filament and restart it, and it worked fine. For the most part, I didn't have any problems. I did have one. Well, I had a couple prints fail. That can happen sometimes if, in this case anyway, the print as it's being printed kind of shifts. It's moved, and there's no way that the printer can recover from that. It just keeps going on thinking that it's printing okay, but it's not. So anyway, yeah, it took probably 3 or 4 days at least to do these, but I think they came out well. I chose of course, the highest resolution, so they're nice and smooth for the most part, and that's why it took so long. Now these have been designed in a really clever way, in my opinion, because they have these pins, which are actually separate 3D printed parts that I have inserted in here. I can't get them out anymore because the fit is quite tight for the most part. Well, I can get this one out, I think. Yeah, there's the pin, and that allows you to position these fairly easily, and also reinforces the joins here. Now, of course, I am going to be gluing this and finishing it, filling in cracks and things with putty, and then painting it. But for the moment, we can assemble it just using a friction fit. So let's go ahead and try and do that. Now, he's posed this, according to him, to accept a later Gamorrean Guard figure that he's going to be making. Alright, there he is. And we can't even get him into frame, he's so gigantic. It's really quite an impressive figure, especially for being 3D printed, something that, didn't exist at all until I decided to print it. I mean, I didn't actually create this model, of course, but the idea that I was able to turn just some strings of plastic into this is pretty incredible. But we're going to go ahead and finish this up a little bit more, and hopefully he'll look even more impressive. So first of all, let me apologize for not having better in-progress photos or video for this. I have a problem remembering to do things like that when I'm actually in the middle of a project, but I do have a few photos I can show you. Here we have the model that's assembled and glued, and with some Bondo to fill in the gaps between the parts. I actually found that after I glued it, because the epoxy glue that I used is kind of thick, it actually it made the joins bigger, the gaps between them bigger, than they had been without any glue. So I did have to fill in joins of about a millimeter or more in some cases with Bondo, which is a sort of automotive body filler. And then I put it on a base with some gravel and pebbles and sand mixed with white glue, just to give it a nice sort of base to stand on. Also, I discovered that the model itself wouldn't quite stand on its own anyway, so I did have to have a base. So here we have the completed statue. And what I decided to do was, instead of painting it in a realistic paint scheme with browns and organic colors and so forth, I decided to make it look as though if it was a bronze statue made of metal. And a couple reasons for that. One was that I've already done a similarly sized Rancor model. It's the AMT ERTL vinyl model kit, which I will link to in the description and also up in the little eye. And, you know, I kind of wanted to try something different, but also, this being a 3D printed model, it's a little bit lower in detail than a traditional vinyl model kit or a resin model kit. And I actually thought, that being the case, that it would lend itself better to a metal look. And I think it came out quite well. What I did was to prime the whole thing in gray, and then I used a bronze spray paint as kind of the base. Then I did a lot of weathering with kind of browns and brown washes and things. Basically, you put it on and then wipe most of it off so that it leaves a little bit behind, makes the color more rich and looks more realistic than just if it were, you know, just spray painted. And then I went back and put some gold on the highlights here, just to restore some of the shine to it. And finally, I don't know if you can see, but there's a kind of a patina that I've applied here, which is essentially a turquoise and gray color mixed together that you apply basically to the whole thing, and then you wipe it off right away so that it just stays in the cracks. And I've used this this technique a few times. It's pretty successful, I think. It looks, I don't know how it looks on camera, but it looks quite a bit like a real bronze statue in reality. So I'm pretty pleased with this. There, you know, if you look closely in places, there are some of the telltale 3D print lines, but I doubt if, you know, unless I told you, I don't think you would know that this was 3D printed. I would really doubt it. I don't know if you'd think it was metal or not. You might, actually. It's a fairly convincing look, but I don't think you would think it was 3D printed. So that was really, I think, a success for me. That's kind of what I wanted to go for. And yeah, I'm really pleased with this model. Thanks, Jeffro, for making it freely available. It's really amazing, especially how much he has made publicly available on sites like Thingiverse, just for people to print if they want to. And he doesn't ask for any money or anything. Now, he has, as I said, apparently a Gamorrean guard planned that'll fit here. That'll be awesome. I'll just paint that in the same color scheme. And he's also, from what I understand, already designed a Jabba the Hutt model as well, that he's kind of apparently reluctant to release because of some problems he's had with people sort of taking his models and selling them or using them in ways that he doesn't want them to be used. So I'm really hoping that that will be made available soon. So yeah, that's about it for today's 3D printed Star Wars project. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more.